Hello, my name is Meier, and this speech is to inform you about specific influences on the Holocaust. The Holocaust is one of those infamous examples of neglecting fundamental human rights. Humans were often treated like animals and killed when they were deemed useless. The justification for this was a difference in race, religion, and difference in way of life. The Holocaust had many influencing factors. The ones I want to touch on today are Hitler's agenda, those imprisoned in the camps, and an unlikely hero. First is Hitler's agenda. In the aftermath of World War I, the Treaty of Versailles forced Germany to pay war reparations for damages done across Europe. This left the German economy crippled. Many people were living in poverty, and they were looking for a place to blame. Hitler used this as an opportunity, and he decided to place the blame on the Jews, the communists, and the left-wing parties. He wrote a book called Mein Kampf, and in this book, he stated the stance of the Third Reich. Mein Kampf is, in English, is my struggle or my fight. The Jews were especially demonized in this book. Hitler said, "The personification of the devil as a symbol of all evil assumes the living shape of the Jew." His stance gained support throughout Germany, and 13 years later, the Holocaust began. At first, he started forced labor camps, but then he created death camps for the facilitation of the final solution, or the mass genocide of the Jewish people. Those sent to death camps were killed by poisonous gas, one of the most inhumane ways to die possible, but some would argue that they had it better than those who eventually died in the forced labor camps. Although Jews were the primary target of the Holocaust, there were many others that were persecuted as well. These groups include political prisoners, common criminals, gypsies, Jehovah's Witnesses, homosexuals, and prisoners of war. Even the prisoners who were not sent to death camps often died due to starvation, disease, exhaustion, and brutal treatment. Those who survived were haunted by what they had witnessed. Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor, wrote a book that described what he had seen. In the book Night, he said, "Never shall I forget those flames which consumed my faith forever. Never shall I forget the nocturnal silence which deprived me, for all eternity, of the desire to live. Never shall I forget these moments which murdered my God in my soul and turned my dreams to dust. Never shall I forget these things, even if I am condemned to live as long as God himself. Never." But in the face of arguably the darkest part of history, a necessary but unlikely hero emerged. This hero was a man named Oskar Schindler. He did everything he could to save as many Jews possible. He was a German man who had a checkered past and was a member of the Nazi Party. Once he saw the true intentions of the Nazi Party, he decided to save as many Jews possible by employing them in his factories. When asked why he did it, Schindler said, "I hated the brutality, the sadism, and the insanity of Nazism. I just couldn't stand by and see a people destroyed. I did what I could, what I had to do, what my conscience told me I must do. That's all there is to it, really, nothing more." By the end of World War II, Oskar Schindler had spent his whole fortune on bribes and supplies to help those workers he had saved. He saved 1,200 Jews in total. Although small in comparison to the number of Jews killed during World War II, You cannot put a value on the significance of his endeavor. In conclusion, the Holocaust was a horrific event in history, heavily impacted by Hitler's agenda, those imprisoned in the camps, and Oskar Schindler. It will forever live in infamy.